how did you get over the mind fuck about this fact that women in relationship, guys, okay, in relationship, not always in relationship with you, that she's feminine, and this concept of it's not lying, it's her truth in that moment. And
the mind fuck that I was having about that everything's in the moment, and our values can change. There's just so many examples. Like I think what I want to say is it's as simple as, can I go out to play golf, or I'm going to go out with the buddies to play golf, whatever. Just the saying is it doesn't mean anything. Whatever, what does that mean? It means nothing. I think that's a really good example of a lot of times when women are talking to us, the words don't matter. It is the 90% of communication that she's giving you other than what she says. Because every man out here knows that whatever is a danger sign, right? That's just an easy one that we've learned. If she says whatever, that means that she's feeling blown off. It's just so she's blowing you off in return. And really, she's pissed about it because she wants to spend time with you that day. She thinks you're selfish and always spending time with the boys. Whatever her feeling is at the moment is what she's expressing, right? And
yeah, let's
so
make it harder. Let's make
yeah.
it harder. Okay, let's say 2 years ago she's like, yeah, let's move to Colorado, and today she says, I hate Colorado, this was a terrible idea, you're such a bad man for moving us to Colorado.
Yeah, and everything that you did to get her to Colorado was being manipulative and narcissistic and all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
She's expressing that she's unhappy at the moment. So when I was started coaching women, and I had this woman who was like 20 times as nasty on the forum the other day. And I mean, she was nasty. And every time he'd walk in the room, she'd call him an abusive, narcissistic pig and all this kind of stuff. And none of this had to do with him. You go back and you put all these feelings back and back and back. There was a time when they were like, 26 years old, and they just bought a house, and she was all excited to have children, or dreaming about having children. And she goes, "Oh, it'll be so nice to play with the kids in the backyard." And the guy's in his practical mind going, "Oh, yeah, we're not ready to have children." And what she heard was, "I don't think you're going to be a good mother." And then so she went for the next 10 years building up a case that he thought she was a bad mother, right? It blew my mind when I actually dug back all those layers and all those years to what the problem was. And the problem was a misunderstanding, because what she heard was her mother talking, "You're never going to be a good mother."
Yeah, it's the
Right?
momentum, it's the soup of everything that she's felt and dreamt and been told, and
Right.
culture, and it's the soup of everything that she's expressing in this moment to you.
Right. Yeah, I call it an emotional tornado because she's got no control over it. And she has organized every hurtful thing. Alison Armstrong calls it a storm. She's organized every hurtful thing that she's felt. And when she finally decides to take it off of her shoulders, the easiest person in the world to put it on is her husband. I mean, that's the person she could hurt the most, and that's what she needs to do. I mean, not hurt somebody, but to get the weight off of her. She just knows it's gonna, it just lands there. You're
So
convenient, you're close.
I agree. So let's, in the last 2 minutes, let's take it one step further, right? So what do we do about this? What do we do about this? So her tacit test, her feminine instinctual test there is she wants you to pass. She wants you to pass the test. And a woman gets escalatingly more nasty as you fail tests. Okay, so if she's really nasty, you've been failing tests for a long time. So you're gonna have to pass a lot of them for her to back the fuck off, basically, in man speak. Don't tell her that. Don't say Jeff said that. Okay, guys. Now here's the key. If she's talking about something about you, it's usually a shit test, a challenge to you, a frame test. And the go-to for a frame test is to agree and amplify. Okay, agree and amplify. Now, if she's walking in and calling me a narcissistic pig, that's across the line for me. I'm not even going to be in that space. Like, yo, that's across the line for me. Like, I'm gonna go take space and we'll talk about this tomorrow. I'm not even going to engage with that. But assuming that it's not across an abusive line, okay, if it's something about you, right? You moved us to Colorado, right? Usually it's like, yeah, I just planned on this being horrible for us. This is just hell on earth. You're right. So that's called agree and amplify. Doesn't mean she's going to like it. She's probably going to get more pissed off about it, right? And then what I would suggest you do is circle back in 24 hours or 48 hours and attempt to connect emotionally about that thing. So, hey, I was thinking about what you said about Colorado and it's really painful. Now, if the relationship is going well and you can just skip right to the emotional resonance, do that. But if she's just going to hammer you, okay, I do the agree and amplify. Or if it's just a test and a woman's got a little smile on her face because she was giving you shit, she's giving you shit, agree and amplify. If it's something about her, like, I feel terrible here. I feel like you don't love me. I feel like I don't have any friends here. Then you just go right to comforting. You go right to emotional resonance. You don't try to make a joke about that. So that's the go-to that I want to leave you guys with.